conversations on film. I'm gonna call this episode the J&J. Okay, we got Jasmine and we got Jada here. You know, Jada. You know, she requested this one, so we're gonna let Jada run the show. Jada G.
I love when I get to run shit.
Jada is running the show.
Okay.
And go ahead, do your thing, 21.
Hey, all my booze and babes and everybody out there. It's your girl, Jada G. And according to the producer, I'm running shit today. Okay? Your girl is here. But what's going on? Happy Taco Tuesday. I have my lovely, beautiful, wonderful, phenomenal co-host, Jasmine.
Yes. Y'all know it. Just Jazz. We bullheaded in nose rings. Call me Tupac all summer. Okay.
Tupac's back. Tupac's back. Right. So we here today, and we finna chop it up.
Yes, ma'am.
I have to say, your skin is just beautiful.
So is yours. I just feel like the cocoa butter is just...
I feel like cocoa butter and patchouli, you know, they said before that's very black, but call it what you want. What you won't call me is unlubricated.
Exactly. Or cracked. Hello.
Black don't crack unless you what?
Smoke it.
Voice.
Wait, before we even get started, have you seen that Mayor Adams has dispensed free vending machines around the city that disperse free crack pipes, syringes, fentanyl kits, and the medication to stop overdoses? Each machine, I think, is between 11 and 14,000. And how about they thought they were going to have to refill these machines? Because this kind of like went like unspoken about, which I thought was crazy. They thought they were going to refill these machines every couple of hours, or if not every other day. Maybe they had to refill them every 30 minutes. And the crackheads were outside like, I'm trying to get high. I ain't trying to die. Baby.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. Until fentanyl hit the market, I didn't know many crackheads who die, okay? Fentanyl fucking up the game because
it is.
Crackheads don't die. They multiply and they survive and thrive. Now, dope fiends, that's like dope fiends falling. They don't fall. They might not, but they ain't gonna fall. So, you know, listen, this is always the problem with black mayors for me. I get you. You know, you want to come, you want to be urban, but sometimes we go a little too urban.
Yeah.
A la Barry. What was his name? That was the D.C. mayor that was smoking crack in the room.
Marion
Barry. Oh, you know, like sometimes we go a little bit too urban.
Yeah.
I'm all here for Narcan being able to be dispensed because it is proven. I know of many instances, people who I know, especially with these bad perks, this fentanyl is really real. So it is good that, you know, you have preemptive measurements. But I don't know about giving out crack pipes.
Yeah, or syringes. And this is my issue. Yes, it's free, but where are they disposing of these items once they use it? Because we're still having to clean up school grounds, parks, public places where children are, that now this has become a trash ground for these addicts
that you're giving
and he
freely.
Right. And he didn't think he didn't think about this fully. Like, it's like, sir,
it's almost like you're supplying their habit. I mean, what's next? Putting free crack in it? Like you're gonna put a little bass?
Right.
It takes two to make a bass. You know, like what are you gonna do?
Also, I overheard them saying that they were giving like to test your drugs to make sure there's no fentanyl in it. So it's tests.
A Fenty kit. And we ain't talking
It's
about Rihanna.
to save lives.
And we ain't talking about Rihanna.
Hello.
A little Fenty kit. I'm not gonna wholly bash Mayor Adams because you know what? I'd rather you try to address issues, needs, see what works, see what doesn't, and tweak. So I'm not gonna completely bash him. But what I am gonna say is we need to put those same efforts into drug prevention, into drug programs, into building up our youth because we can't. I hate to tell you, if you want to get high, you're going to get high. If you want to put it in your veins, you're going to put it in your veins. So ultimately, we're trying to fight a war that can't be fought.
Yeah.
You kind of like let fiends fiend. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But shout out to Mayor Adams. We'd love to have you in conversations on film.
Absolutely.
Come talk with us. Anybody got contact for him? Tell him to get us.
Right. All right, so in the news, right?
In the news.
Yeah, we see the mother from Chicago. The mother from Chicago was in a argument with a guy, and he put his hands on her, and her son fatally shot the what is he called?
The assailant.
The assailant, right?
That's what he did. He assaulted her.
Talk about it.
So let's break this down. If you were living underneath a rock this weekend, Carlicia Hood, free her. She's now free. And her son, who we will leave nameless because he is a minor. He's a child. And I think, first and foremost, we have to make that very well known, because I'm a proponent of that, especially for Black males, that they are not looked at as children.
Yeah,
they
right.
always want to be adults.
Yes.
Even at 10. So he's a child, and I'm glad they withheld his name. So the mother, Carlicia Hood, got into an altercation, argument in a restaurant, and a Black man knocked her kufi off, knocked the wind out her body.
Pushed her muffin cap back blue. Okay. He robo-doped that ass. This was Apollo Creed.
Part 5.
Yes.
The sequel, prequel.
This is when the Russian, she was like, get him. When the wife was like, get him.
It's not funny.
It was one of those. Because I was like, he robo-doped her.
First of all, let us dissect the limited video that we saw. I was very disturbed by it because you could see the anger. This wasn't his first rodeo. I'm willing to bet my 2 kidneys, and I'll need them in the future, very near future, that he's hit a woman before, a Black woman before. And it could be his Black mama, his Black grandma, his Black auntie, his Black baby mother. But this was not his first time assaulting women, because if it was, he was very comfortable with doing it the first time in the public to a woman he never met, allegedly, up until this point. And it's so ironic that he went for wings and left with some. And he kept putting it on his grandmama, and I don't think he met her at the gate, but R.I.P.
Right.
I'm making light of it, but I'm very upset by it.
Tell us why you mad, sis.
Would you like to know?
The floor is yours.
We live in a society where Black women are attacked at a higher rate than any of our peers, especially by men of color. And it's disturbing, and it's saddening, and it's disgusting. And the thing that really grinds my mother effing gears is I can guarantee you if that was a white woman, it wouldn't have went that route. I'm not going to say little Johnny on the spot wouldn't have tweaked out, but I doubt if he would have hit her like that. You know why? Because in his mind, that white woman came with some different protection and connections. And whether it was the protection of politicians, police, Ku Klux Klan, her family members, he would have stopped and thought about his future. He would have stopped and thought about those 2 Black daughters that he left fatherless. He would have stopped and thought about a lot of things because he realized that that woman was protected. And it bothers me and it saddens me that Black women are not protected in the same manner as other women. Say what you want. We're going to get into her mouth. We're going to get into how we can agitate and get underneath y'all skin. I get it. What I don't understand is why you feel that you can disrespect us. Because we're left, that bothered me out of everything. Like, he balled like, when you see, first of all, okay, because I'm very well versed in hood body language and hood verbiage. So the fist, when he was pounding the fist, I was like, this ain't even going to end well. Before I seen the punch, I said, he looks like he's about to, sure enough, he knocked the cotton out her socks.
Right.
But my second problem that I have and why I say there's a lack of protection for Black women is there were Black men in that space before he got to hit her. Where did we get to such this point where we mind our business while minding the business that's not minding our business? Because what do I mean by that? We'll say, and the Black man will say in the middle, well, ain't my sister, ain't my girl, I'm mind my business, but you'll pull out your phone and you'll record. That's not minding your business. It's not minding your business.
Selective.
Yeah,
that's how you engage.
That's selective minding your business. And We need for other black men, and I know, and it's going to look like I'm attacking. In this case, I'm going to be very real, I am. I'm not attacking. It's accusatory, and yet it's also a call. It's a plea for action. It's a plea to jump. We need other black men to start standing up and stand for sisters. Whether it's your mother, whether it ain't your mother, whether her mouth is running. I'm not saying that there are some instances where you might could let it go, but for the most case, de-escalate it. Yo, bro, you tweaking. Yo, man, come outside. She ain't even worth it, homie. Even if you didn't agree with her tactics, she deserves to be protected enough from him. Look at all the lives. Look at the tragedy. It's like a domino effect. Young black boy, he's now stepped up. He has now became a man in a sense where he shouldn't have had to. Mm-hmm. He literally went from boys to men in a nanosecond. And I don't blame that young black man. As a mother of 2 sons, I commend him. Would I want to put my son in a position where he has to defend me? No. But I'd be proud as fuck if he did have to do what he did. Because if Trayvon Martin can be killed for hoodies and Skittles and the mere thought of threat from walking in a neighborhood, then we should have no problems with this young black boy standing his ground over his mama. He did what needed to be done.
Is there any way that this, and I'm playing devil's advocate, is there any way that this was deserved on her part by getting hit, for getting hit? Like, what was the action that was done for this man to feel like he needed to put his hands on this woman?
Tell me that you condone domestic violence without telling me you condone domestic violence. What do you mean? Was there anything that she did? What?
I mean,
I don't know.
Is it considered domestic violence?
That was an act. Listen, domestic violence doesn't necessarily mean
in relationships.
In relationships, right?
Right.
It is something that's domesticated. They were in a store, a woman, a man, and he hit her. He physically, or okay, you know what? Take domestic violence out. He assaulted her. It was a crime.
Right.
And there's never a reason for you to what did she do? Mm-hmm. That's what I need to know. I don't forget. F what she said. Did she hit him? Do we have a video where she hit him?
Like, usually stuff, you won't, the record don't start until it gets loud, you know? So what if she came in, they knew each other, and she pushed him? Like, you know, like, oh, get out my way.
I think that would have been, I know.
The start of it.
That would have been, to me, that would have been talked about. Mm. That would have been sad.
What if nobody's seen that? Like, what happened?
I see, that's, okay, so we can't really say what happened, right? Unless we saw it, or unless you were there physically. Now, do I believe that she should have been dealt with in that manner? Absolutely not. But I do understand. I can understand people being hesitant in today's society to step in sometimes, because it's kind of like, what if the men around was like, yo, ma, chill, and she just kept going, right? Because I know somebody that knows her. He's from Chicago. And he was like, her mouth is reckless, and she doesn't know when to stop. It's like when keeping it real goes wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Right, allegedly. So, which everybody's perspective is different, because I may have met her and felt like it was her talking crazy is warranted. A male may have felt like, oh nah, she's over the top. So I understand both sides.
But what does over the top have to do with? And again, I think we don't take enough ownership, right? Onus within your individual. When do you say, you know what, her over the top ass, I'm not engaging with her, bitch. You ain't my girl, you ain't my mother.
But I guess it could have gone both ways both adults could have said, you know what, we're both in here to get something to eat. Everybody should have walked away alive that day.
But what I'm saying to you, Jazz, is I agree with that. They could have. But he was the one who was agitated enough to punch her. So what I'm saying is, when do we, right? And I think this is something we need to start
practice
indoctrinating into our black men. Mm-hmm. You don't have the right, because somebody, what they don't say or what they do say, to hit a woman. Because a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, even in domestic violence issues, oh, her motherfucking mouth, she was saying so. So her mouth dictates and controls how you use your hands?
No, I agree. I agree that self-control is something that needs to be practiced more, and something that needs to be spoke about more. Accountability is a major part, because everyone has to be accountable for the actions that they played. Even if you and I would have an argument and I don't say anything, that's still an action, right? And I got to be accountable that I didn't say nothing.
Right.
And I feel like everybody was wrong here, except for the child at hand. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because, again, like you said, his mother, he's a child. He did what he felt needed to be done. The reason I say everybody was wrong, because everybody could have walked away. Mom could have went and sat in her car and waited till her food was done. Or she could have waited till his food was done and he left, and then she went back inside. You get what I'm saying? Like,
agreed.
At the end of the day, preserving life should be the ultimate goal.
Absolutely.
I'm not arguing with no man for the simple fact I know I can't fight no man. I know I got to call my father, my brother, my man, somebody.
Well, no, she had to go get the heat.
Jesus.
She had to go get the heat.
First of all, I'm not going nowhere in Chicago and I don't got my piece on me. Not to the store, not to church.
All
right, so hold on. So
it was in the car though.
So
I would have had it on me.
How did the young man get the gun?
So allegedly, mom texted him because she's in an argument. She's feeling threatened, and rightfully so.
And she said, "Bring my piece.
Bring the peace." Now that is where I question what's happening, and I think this hit home for me really hard. About 2 years ago, I was down south. My son he's 15, so he was 13 at the time. And I got into it with these young boys about his age. And I was livid with my son because I felt like he didn't come to my rescue enough. And my cousin, who at the time lost her son, got very upset with me. It was basically yeah, but you were in a place where you're putting him potentially at harm. And I didn't think about it in my hot-headedness, because all in my mind, I'm saying, why aren't you defending me like I would have defended you? And sometimes as women, we have to be very careful of what we send our men into battle to do over us.
Right.
Because we have the power to speak life or death into our men. You understand? It goes both ways. And so that is the only part that I kind of struggle with. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, seeing what he did to her, did she feel an imminent threat in order to even ask her 14-year-old son to bring in the heat?
And why didn't she feel like she needed to leave?
Right.
And why she didn't leave? Why didn't she just get up and go? When he said, "I'm going to hit you, and if you say another word," why don't you just you know what? I'm out of here.
Because a lot of us, are conditioned from neighborhoods we come to.
But you know what happens when these rowdy niggas.
But we don't always. But,
you do know if you come from the neighborhood.
I know Chicago
and you know,
dangerous.
I know Queens is dangerous. Hell, Long Island dangerous. The point I'm making is, though, sometimes, and this goes back to what you said about de-escalation. We need to start talking about de-escalation techniques and tactics in the Black community, because a lot of us live on "I wish a nigga would."
Right. And that mentality has gotten plenty of our bros killed. That mentality,
women in trouble,
has gotten a lot of us put behind bars
because we live on it.
Yes, that's why I loved Dave Chappelle when he did that whole segment of when keeping it real goes wrong, because that shit is real life.
Is.
And the reality is, and I don't know this lady personally, I don't know her background, but I know at this stage in my life, I got too much shit to lose. To feel like I gotta have the last word. I gotta be right. You know what? I don't even care at this point, bro. My mission is to make sure I get home safely to my children, and my children make it home safely. And I feel like there were hard life lessons for everyone to learn. I hope that young man seeks therapy.
Yeah.
I hope from this he realizes you don't have to have the last word, because you could have lost your whole life in a split second. If that man had a gun on him, what if he would have killed her son? And from my understanding, now there is a price on her son's head. So her and him need to get out of Chicago as soon as possible and go into hiding. She's also now suing Chicago for arresting her when they did, which I'm not going to say right or wrong. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to get all into that. But I know if I got my son back after that, I'm laying low.
I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. I just think that, like I said, a lot of us rest on from traumas, from our neighborhoods, from our upbringing, from just instilling, I don't want to look like, even when you're grown and you're accomplished and you're even in different settings, it's like you're not letting anyone punk you, for lack of better words. And so sometimes we don't realize that walking away is the power. I've had to learn that. I learned that the really hard way, that you got it.
Yep.
You got it.
But who should have walked away?
Both. Because he can't even walk now. So maybe he should have walked away.
Right.
Both should have walked away for the simple fact y'all were there to get a meal. And it's turned into a whole crime and a murder scene.
But
over a hot dog and some chicken wings.
It was hot dogs.
I think
it
she
was
was
a
ordering
burger.
hot dogs. Or it was a
glizzy.
hot dog spot or
Not a
something like that.
glizzy.
Right.
You know, Chicago dogs, they said it's the best.
I don't know because
Well, I'm looking at the video. I see pizza and hamburgers.
Yeah, it was like
made
a food-
everything.
it was
It's
a
an
food
American
spot.
joint. Now the thing is with me, I don't see myself fighting anybody while I got any of my daughters with me unless there's an imminent threat for them, right? Like if I'm in an argument with this guy about some food and he's threatening my life or threatening anything to do with me and my daughter is around, you know what? Let's go. Let's go. You know, my daughter's here. Like, why do you feel like you need to tell him to go get the gun instead of leaving out of the spot?
Well, the thing about it was he wasn't even in the spot. She told him to bring it in, allegedly.
Like, that's the crazy part.
Yeah,
That's kind of like
I mean-
that's kind of like what do you call it? Premeditated because you're telling him
that's
to
what
bring
they
Well,
say.
a
no,
gun.
it's not premeditated. It's because you are perceiving danger. It's the same thing. And
All right, but you leave. Did you have an option to leave? Because he said,
but I'm
"Shut
waiting
up."
on my glizzy. Well done.
That's okay. See, that's where it gets a little
Right.
weird. Where they
Right.
say
tricky.
protect black women and everything like that, when she could have used her.
Now, what I will say in reference to the protect black women is black women have to learn how to respect black men as well.
Right.
And I'm going to say that because a lot of us talk reckless, and then when we are in the face of danger, it's like, oh my God, you're not going to come to my rescue. When sis, you was just telling me ain't no good nigga, deadbeat, ain't shit. My mama ain't shit. She shouldn't have had me. Should have
I
swallowed
look
me.
like this
My
and-
daddy should have put her on my put me on my mama's
Jasmine.
forehead. So I'm not going to say black women shouldn't be protected, but this has to go both ways. And I'm not going to say black women always disrespect black men. However, we are in a state of emergency in the black community that we're not even understanding at this point.
Agreed.
To where black women feel unprotected and black men feel like they don't have to protect us.
It's wait a
Because
minute.
because we
Black women-
sometimes feel like black women don't respect us.
I was about to say that. I literally was going to say we are in a crisis point where black women feel unprotected and black men feel disrespected.
Yes. And they don't go hand in hand.
They don't coincide.
At all, to where, and I love when I hear people talk about the others, the melanin deprived people, but you don't ever sit and spend no real time with them. Because if you do, you understand that, yes, Becky respects her husband in the public, but when they get home, her husband ain't nothing but an ATM because all he does is pay the goddamn bills in here. He don't clean, he don't cook, he don't help take care of the kids, he don't drop nobody off to soccer, he don't do homework, he don't do
I've
none
seen
of
it.
that.
I've seen it.
Now, it's
Jazz.
funny because Oprah just did a whole article about how statistically, I believe it was a study with the CDC or one of those agencies, statistically, black men are the most engaged fathers in the country.
I believe it.
I do too.
I had one.
I do too. And I have one to this day.
Keyword had.
My
Past
father
tense.
is amazing. My kid's
dad
father
was
is
too.
amazing.
My dad was too.
I love black men. I love black fathers. Ain't
Ooh,
nothing
yes.
like it.
Ain't
the fact
it?
that Father's Day was right around Juneteenth, that energy was everything
Child, I got
to
one
me.
better for you. It wasn't Father's. No, it wasn't Father's Day. That just happened. No,
Yeah.
it was Father's Day, right?
Father's Day and Juneteenth was a day apart. It was the energy was infectious for me, right? But like I said, as black women, we've got to get back to a place where we are respecting them. Because I can't expect you to show up and protect and love and provide, and I don't even know how to talk to you. I got to always learn how to talk to the king in you. I don't care how mad I get. And I learned that in therapy, that for me to manifest the man that I wanted in my life, I had to learn how to always speak to him like the man I wanted in my life, even when I'm mad at him.
Teach that shit.
You know
sis.
what I'm saying?
Say it again.
And I had to learn how to speak to the man that I wanted in my life all the time. I needed to speak to him as
your
that
king.
man.
Ooh.
Right? To where when we
Even
get
when he
to,
acting like a court jester.
yes.
Okay.
Even when we get upset with each other, there are rules. We don't hit below the belt. Like, it's a lot of things that, and a lot of growing that I've done, but we've all got to get to that place.
Yeah.
To where he was dead wrong for hitting her. She was probably wrong for saying something. I don't know what she said. I didn't get to get all into it either. But, and then for the men standing around, I can understand sometimes, I've read articles where men have gotten into it. Like, there was a guy not too long ago in Walmart, and matter of fact, I'm almost sure he's from Queens. Him and his wife moved down south, just had a baby. Man in Walmart was beating this woman up. He intervened, and the men got into it, and the man killed him. So now this baby's fatherless. This woman has lost her husband, all because he was trying to step in and be a stellar man and say, yo, fam, chill, she's a woman.
And that bitch probably still take care of him behind bars. Child.
Probably. So I get it as black men where you're hesitant to step in because sometimes it happens with your own siblings, right? What happens when your sister's getting her ass beat by Ray Ray from down the block and you done stepped to Ray Ray, like, yo, don't put your hands on my sister no more.
I love him. Don't be talking to him like that. We're going to be together forever.
Exactly. And now the sister's like, yo, you know, my brother crazy. He da-da-da-da. Like, hold up, sis. I just came to your defense. Like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I get the hesitation. It's a rock and a hard place for me.
But Jazz, okay, playing devil's advocate, right? You in the same breath, are we still not supportive? Are we still not protective? Are we still not on the front lines for our men who disrespect us, who degrade us, be it from our platonic to loved ones to relationship? We show up and show out for black men at the cost and expense of us quite often.
But we all don't. Some of us show up. Some of us just show up to look good.
Yep.
Some of us just show up to say we was a part of the number. Some of us just show up to say, yeah, I was there, but then you disrespecting a black man behind the scenes. They don't walk. You got to walk it like you talk it, literally, right? So if you're going to stand on the front lines for Black Lives Matter and these black men that get killed at the hands of the police, and I love black men, then baby, you got to love black men.
And I feel like what you said, right, Jada, I feel like, you know how you say, oh, we show up and this, that, and the other, but I feel like that's some low-key abuse. And it causes Stockholm syndrome for the man. Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because
hear this one.
you can give him, you could show up for him, do all this for him, but then behind closed doors, you calling him all types of names and doing whatever you need to do to make you feel better about what you think he did to you or doing to you, and he's sitting there and have to deal with that all the time. Is that fair? Like, okay, I show up with you, you know, I cook, I clean for you, I blah, 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 but you also disrespect me. You also publicly make me feel some type of way.
Well, that's manipulative.
It is. And I think that, again, it goes back to what Jasmine said. A lot of us need therapy.
Yes.
Like, mental health is wealth. We need to learn how to love one another. And the first thing you have to do is learn how to love yourself. A lot of black women, a lot of black men do not love ourselves. We say we do, but our actions and what we accept and what we allow and what we settle for always tell us otherwise. And a lot of us don't learn how to love ourselves. And a lot of us are raised on survival versus raised on love.
Yes.
And because of that, it makes it very hard to love you in the way that I am capable. I remember having a conversation with my cousin. He's a guy. And he was telling me how his mother had never told him that he loved her, that he loved him. He's like, I know she do, but she's never physically said the words. And all I want her for her cousin is to do to tell me she loves me. And that, it was like, dang. And I had to tell him, it's not that she doesn't want to. She's not capable. She doesn't have the tools to be able to do this. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of backstories, but there's some things there. And that seems to be the problem in a lot of our communities. We don't have, nor do we seek, the tools to learn how to love properly. Everybody is quick to get into a relationship, but nobody actually finds out what it takes to sustain one. And not just sustain one, to sustain a productive relationship.
So I'm glad you said that, because I also, like, this is such a snowball effect for me, because I also feel like as black women, and there's no offense to the single black mothers raising black children, I salute every mother, parent, parental figure, auntie, I don't care who you are. But as black women, we have to get back to teaching these young men real standards. There's no reason why your young black son is not taking the garbage out. There's no reason why your young black son is not meeting you at the curb or in the driveway to take the groceries out and he's putting them away. We are missing the fundamentals because we're so busy coddling these children and we're so busy keeping them fresh to death, but they ain't got no morals. Entitlement, period.
We're raising entitled children.
The reality of it is you can tell that that gentleman, I can't even call him that
young boy, he's a boy. He's a boy.
No, not the son. Not the son. The aggressor. Yeah.
The assailant.
You can tell, number one, he wasn't raised with love, but he probably don't love his mama at all. The reality is a lot of you black men don't love your mamas. So that's why when black women open their mouths, it's always aggressive. It's always a combative attitude because you really don't like your mama. And when I open my mouth, that's what you resonate with.
I remind you of
your mother's coming out of my mouth.
Oh my God.
Period.
Say that, sis.
So, and it stems from childhood to where little Ray cleaned his room. Ma, look, I cleaned my room. And instead of mom just praising it, it was but you didn't get under the bed. So that completely negated the rest of the room because all you heard was you didn't get under the bed.
Absolutely.
Right? So now that breeds disappointment. Resentment, and a bunch of other stuff. And you hold on to that because men hold on to shit way longer than women do.
Right.
Way longer.
And we like, why you ain't get over that yesterday?
Right, because I can go in the bathroom and cry and you still talking about some shit that happened with Keisha in the 3rd grade when she ain't share her gushes with the juice squirting out the middle.
She didn't check. She
we're not allowed to feel some type of way.
Who told you that?
Y'all are allowed.
We allowed, but
you have to learn how to get over it.
But when we do, get out of here. Be a man.
Who
all
said that?
Shit. That's how women. You know how women. You know how you guys are women.
No, but I'm glad you did touch on that too, Jazz.
Yeah, but y'all want us to get over shit the minute it happens.
You sure do. You want us to get over you cheating. And
you all feel like the minute you apologize, which we know you ain't really sorry for. You sorry that I found out or you got caught. But you feel like the minute you apologize, I'm supposed to be okay. What kills me about black men is the fact that you all will do some shit.
Right.
And not know how to fix it.
Oh.
I'm not supposed to figure out how you make me feel better.
Right.
But
how to gain my trust. I gotta tell you how to gain my trust.
Right.
Back.
You found out completely. You were fine on how to figure out how to not lose my trust, how to lose it. So figure out how to gain that shit back. I shouldn't have to tell you and coach you on what could I do to make it right.
But I just want to piggyback on one thing that you said because that really stuck. When you were talking about the fact of, as women, what we pour into our sons and our loved ones, it is so important, black mothers, especially who raise sons, we cannot condone their bullshit. I've said this for years. You got to call them out. Because essentially, like, as a mother of 2 black boys, I always say this is my motto. I'm raising my black sons to never see the back of a police car. Ever. Okay? That is my number one priority behind me and God fear and having integrity. You won't see a cell. My 9-year-old's biggest fear, we talk about this all the time. He says his biggest fear is going to jail and death. Great. Keep that fear so you don't get there. Mm-hmm. You got to die. We'll talk about that later. But you keep that fear of jail because you won't go there. But the most detrimental thing to a black man is having an ignorant-ass black woman in his
child.
You feel me?
About it.
Whether it's your mama, your auntie, your sister, or your woman.
Yes.
Because we can incite you to be great or we can incite you to riot or to kill. Pick your 3.
And a lot of black men have never seen another black man loved properly, respected properly. Yeah. We've gotten away from that because granddaddy was dying so young from high cholesterol and hypertension and everything else. So we didn't get to see grandma speak life into that man, that every time he got up to be a laborer, she made sure breakfast was cooked, lunch was made, and dinner was on the table by the time he got home. We missed that era. Right, we missed that unless you had that because grandma and them was really helping raise you. You didn't get, or you went down south for the summers. You didn't really always get that. And then what happened? Granddaddy died, and then grandma got her little friend, Mr. Earl, down the street, who got to sneak over. Yes. Mr. Earl got to sneak over to, so you don't really get to see right, and you don't really get to see the love that they had. We are missing that in the black community. We're missing speaking to each other a certain way, loving on each other. Like, I went out for Juneteenth.
Okay, go ahead.
And my God, like that energy, the way everybody spoke to each other. I was in Charlotte
and I seen that. And
it was beautiful.
But, friend, let me tell you something. I feel like the hope that you just speak of. I feel like this generation, we're starting to see that because a lot of us we're breaking down those trauma bonds and we're aware of them. So there is hope for that Black love that we need to be able. A lot of our Black. I was riding through Baldwin yesterday. I'm talking about like that's
the harbor.
The harbor, not the beginning of Baldwin.
No, the harbor.
And I seen so many Black families.
Yes,
Baldwin has become
I know a few
overwhelmingly
people
Black.
Yes, it is one of
And
the
one of my baby
rising
mothers
Black
live there.
communities.
It made me feel good because it's like I seen about 3 different Black children. One was riding a bike, the other one was skateboarding, the other one was sitting on his step. And I'm like, yeah. Because it lets you know that this nucleus family, it does exist.
Yes.
And I think if we get to a place where many of us are addressing it, whether you're in Baldwin or you're in the 40 Green projects, you can produce and have the family that you desire. It takes work, though.
Absolutely.
You got to want that.
Yes.
You have to cultivate that. And it's important for us to cultivate a loving, positive home with your children, whether you are in a 2-family home, a heterosexual, a goat and a billy dog, whatever it is, you got to enforce what you want to see, what you want to be.
Yes,
Right.
I agree.
Now back to women and how and having respecting your king and things of that nature and not acting out in public. We seen JT and Little Uzi Vert have a little spat.
Yes, they
at
did.
the BET Awards, the Black Entertainment Television Awards that's owned by the Black super powerful Tyler Perry now.
Yeah, shout out to TP.
Shout out to him. Everybody said he gave them the key and like lock up when y'all finish.
Fact. That's exactly what it was.
So how do you guys think, like, what do you guys feel about the public display of not affection, but fighting? Like, what is
I'm
that?
gonna let Jasmine speak on that first. Go ahead, good sis. Take the wheel.
So I have a problem with that. The fact that you picked up any type of item and threw it is no different to me than this man putting his hands on this woman in this restaurant in Chicago.
Agreed.
Violence is violence.
Agreed.
I've had a cell phone thrown at me in a
who did
relationship. Girl, and I was young too. I was
did
real
that?
young. This one flip phones. This was like the first camera phone ever. And like I was in high school. And it was like really crazy.
He threw a
and
flip
like,
phone at you?
Yeah, like he took the phone in
His
and
Motorola.
hurled it at me. And it was my phone too. That's what made it even worse. It wasn't even his phone, it was my phone. But I think it's crazy that people just kind of like skated over that. Like she threw an object, and what if it would have hit somebody else? And then it was super corny for her to talk about, oh, I did it because I lost my seat. You lost your seat at an award show? That's crazy. And number 2, you a city girl, sis. You're not supposed to have no emotion. Hot girls don't give a fuck about a nigga. You should have went and sat on somebody else's lap if that was the case. I can't find my seat. Well, I'm going to find a lap to sit on if that's the case because I'm sitting my ass down.
I would have sat on my man's lap. That's how we know that's
right.
cap.
Exactly. So, and then if she's mad that he was talking to another young lady, like, y'all are entertainers. Like, be for real. And it's time and place for me. Right. I'm at that age, and I'm not city girl age at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm more like I'm drifting into the auntie stage of life.
It's okay. Embrace
and I'm okay with that.
Embrace your auntie-ism.
I am. I'm loving it. Yeah, I really love it. Okay. But I do feel like it's time and place because I know 20-year-old Jazz, I would have been with the shits. Right? Because let my man been sitting smiling in some other bitch, I might have thrown something too. Like, so I understand the evolution where everybody is not at a certain place and she just may not be there.
Right.
And maybe throwing the phone was a little hot girl, city girlish.
It was city girlish.
Play with me if you want to. Right? Because that's what I caught from it.
So is city girls up 1,000 points or up 10,000 points or down?
I'm going to say they lost some points, but they're not completely down.
Okay.
They're not completely down. But you can't talk about I don't give a fuck about nigga and you got emotional, sis. Nah, sis.
So, shout out to my nieces, JT and Carisha, because they're my nieces in my head. Your auntie love you, right? I'm going to say City Girls is up 10,000 points because I'm here for checking nigga where they at. You play in my face, I'm playing. I'm gonna get you.
And
what?
And then when he knocks you clean out,
knocks your kufi off
for throwing the phone at his head, Then what?
Shout out to little Uzi Vert for not losing his Uzi. Okay, let's just
Facts.
go. Let's give this man his flowers because you're right. Now I'm playing. I think my niece. I'm gonna check my niece JT. I'm gonna check her for throwing the phone. She got very Naomi Campbellish. Okay,
remember that?
Yeah, I do. She lost her cool, so she loses a good 500 points for throwing her phone.
5,000 points. You look bothered. You look bothered, sis.
However, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Now the auntie and me would have threw that phone in the car. I would have threw something else probably.
We would have had a Solange, Beyonce,
It would have
Jazie
been a whole elevator movement in that car.
Okay.
But as you say, she's not evolved. She is a city girl. That was city girl behavior. You playing in my face at the award show, I'm going to show you how I play at this award show. It's almost like the mother who don't care where we at in a store. I'm going to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
You understand? And you know what I liked about little Uzi? He knew that he was wrong because my man was working hard. It looked like he was saying, baby, please. Baby, baby.
Right. Even when they was walking in that tunnel, she was hot the way that dress was moving. And he just was right behind.
She was walking like
up.
Sophia on Color Purple when she was going to get Miss Silly, okay? And he was right behind her, chasing her. He said, baby, please. Like when Theo was begging on the Cosby Show. Justine. He said, JT. And I'm not mad at him because he knew he played in her face. See, sometimes, and this is why I say, other than the phone, I ain't mad. You know, everybody like, oh, it's the time and it's the place. No, the time and the place is where you play in my face. I'm not waiting for us to get behind closed doors. Because the irony is, guess what? People are going to judge you regardless. Mm-hmm. If you act prim and proper, they're going to say, oh, my God, you know, she's so uptight. She needs to take the stick out of her ass. If you act bad and bougie and ghetto, oh, my God, she needs to get some decorum. So F what people think. The bottom line is don't play. What Lola Brooke say? Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Baby, please don't play with it. She just basically told him, stop. I like what she said because I agree. I like my men medium mean. You know, people like they steak medium rare. I like my man medium mean.
I like my
Don't be
medium too.
Hey, how you? Most you get is a yo, what up? I'm here for it.
I guess I feel like I've always been the person, I just got to give a look. Ooh. And you know. It's a problem.
Show the look.
You know, it's like, I just got to give a look. And my boyfriend will tell you.
Did you bite your lip?
He'll be like, yo, your eyes get big and I know shit about to go left.
My eyes get small.
And I feel like
when the hood come out.
Yeah, and I feel like that's my warning before we get there.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not at that stage in my life, but have I been? Oh, baby.
Absolutely.
Baby, I have.
That's why.
That's why I said I get it.
I get it.
I'm not condoning it.
I'm not taking points from them.
But I can't. I mean, she was wrong for throwing the phone because it could really hurt him or somebody else, whatever the case may be. But I also understand when your emotions are going and you publicly feel like you're being embarrassed.
Right. I guess she was in her mood.
Now, but even with this situation, it's kind of like, damn. If it was the other way around and he threw the phone at her, we would have never lived it down.
Yeah, I get it.
Right.
He would have been a woman beater. He would have been everything.
Agreed.
Now, what if, right?
But double standards exist, and I'm here for them.
You can't throw. First of all, his throw would have been stronger.
That's not fair, yo. That's not fair.
Come on, we all play dodgeball.
We gonna stay with the double standards today. That's what we gonna do. All right, so we back at the BET Awards, and we got the aunties of all aunties, Patti LaBelle, right?
Ooh.
Messing up her words, her Tina Turner songs.
First of all,
let me take a sip on this. Go ahead.
First of all,
because I'm about to tear Patti right up.
Not Aunt Patti talking about, I must have rehearsed my line.
Disrespectful to the dead woman.
Times until I had them memorized. You didn't, Patti. You're lying. You didn't rehearse shit. You did your good sis Tina wrong, Patti.
And Tina probably up there like, I hated that bitch anyway.
Patti, your wig should have fell off during the set. You was more worried about that little young man you've been screwing and worried about getting the words right. Who don't know the words to certain Tina Turner songs?
Simply the best.
Patti, you wrong for that.
First of all, sing a song that you know. Let's get to that, okay? You must understand.
Now, if it was Shaka Khan, Shaka, and she was high, I could completely forget that she forgot the word.
Yeah,
It's
forgive
Shaka.
her.
We've known she done made up some goddamn. She done chewed up.
I
some
would have
words.
preferred if you would have pulled a Shaka and made some words.
But talking about I'm trying, y'all. You put more effort into making your 8 cheese macaroni and cheese than you did in rehearsing for a damn tribute to your good
to a
sis and
legend.
icon
A
Tina.
legend.
A black legend.
First of all,
You
Patty
would have
Pie.
never did that. You would have never did that at the
To
Grammys.
Celine. Patty Pie, I'm very disappointed in you. You're down 10,000 points. You're getting a fine and a citation.
Absolutely.
Tina,
And we not buying no more pies till Thanksgiving.
I'm not even that. Tina Turner is turning over in her grave.
As she should. Rolling. She rolling.
She rolled right on
Right
over.
on in her
Rolling out that
Me
casket.
personally, though, and all jokes aside, number one, that's what rehearsal is for. Now, I understand you on your Allen Iverson, and you might feel like rehearsal is beneath you, but perhaps
clearly needed it.
Clearly, you need to go to sound check because it was an embarrassment. It was a disgrace. Tina Turner, née Anime Bullock, is a legend. She's legendary.
Yes.
Okay? She's an icon just like you are. In fact, maybe more so because she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You ain't there, Patty.
Right.
You might be in R&B, but you ain't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh, no, Bush. So I feel a way.
You wasn't
that-
flying over audiences and nothing like that.
No, Bush.
I'm just really disappointed in Patty. I am so disappointed
And
in
that's
her.
not, I love you still, Patty, but I'm side-eyeing you.
Yeah. Trash.
Speaking of side eye, right?
Uh-huh.
We got Trina.
You don't know
Did you
Dan.
see Trina?
You don't know Dan.
Who? You couldn't miss Trina. How could you not see her?
So
She was on some hit him in the head with a honey bun. She done ate all the honey buns Trick was throwing at her.
Jazz, we're not finna
And
do that.
now
We
don't
not
get me
finna-
wrong.
As a
'cause-
full figure woman,
Yes,
we
because
not finna do
now
that.
don't get me wrong.
But-
We not finna do that.
Don't get me wrong. I am here for the.
She's the baddest.
I am here for.
She looked the baddest, you
weight
said?
gain. I'm here.
Shy, don't do that.
I'm here for it, but I will
see your
say.
stomach. Don't do that.
I will say this: as an entertainer, sis could have had on some better shapewear.
yeah, like you have to pick and choose your outfits, right?
Now, let me tell you. Sometimes, you know what it is? As a big woman, I've done this, right? You see yourself as something else.
Right. Because that's
She didn't
exactly
know.
what that
And
was.
then by the time it's time to try to go to plan B, not take a plan B. When it's time to go to plan B, it's too late. So you got to go with the show must go on. Now, here's what I'm going to say for her. First off, I'm tired of people body shaming women's bodies. Okay?
Oh, no.
Women, no, ain't no nah. Because
Oh,
we don't do
no.
that to y'all pop bellies.
Yes,
we
you-
rub them.
yes, y'all
we
do.
lay on them. No, we don't.
Well,
we rub them. We lay on them. We caress them.
Well, you know
we
that-
make you feel good. We gonna get you a size too big. We don't do that.
Yeah, because
And
it's usually gold under the pot belly.
shit. Anyway, moving around and moving along. Listen, women are not given our due. Okay,
We're not.
we menstruate. We go through menopause, premenopause, childbirth, everything with a men that men don't go through. Okay,
That's a fact.
and sometimes, guess what? The stomach starts to protrude. We got fibroids.
My
we
stomach
got
starts stomaching.
the stomach be stomaching. And she done put on a little bit of womanly weight.
Yes.
And in my good sis, you don't know Nan 305 voice, right? TV also adds 15 extra pounds. So I bet if we saw Trina in person, she wouldn't look like that. You feel me? So we gotta give a little bit of grace.
I was gonna say
We gotta give a little bit of grace.
we can give Trina some grace. First of all, she is
She been bad for 20 plus years.
Right.
Is y'all shit me?
right, and
Y'all still gonna hump on her.
and I have a thing. I have a soft spot for the natural bodies. Nothing against people with plastic
Come on, say
surgery
that.
at all.
Say
Listen,
that.
you want to go get nipped, tucked, and
'Cause
everything
I
else.
do.
That's your business.
Shout out to Dr. Miami.
What I will say is I have a soft spot for women that can get on stage in front of the masses in their natural body.
You don't know
because
Nan.
it's not easy, you know. So,
Trina said you don't know Nan
but
Ho.
she could have had on a better piece of shape.
She could have, but I think, like, let me tell you something. The irony of all the people talking ish about her, one, half the women in her age group look like her or worse,
Yes.
okay? And 2, the men who talking about how they still want to hit it. You don't know now, hoe.
Can't.
Okay, and can't, because she the baddest.
Right.
So, I mean, like, we got to give grace. We got to give grace under fire.
And I just, and again, nothing wrong with plastic surgery.
Trina don't wear that outfit no more. Like, but that's okay.
But bring back
real bodies.
Real bodies. Like, everybody doesn't look like we went to DR. Like, some of us really go there just to vacation.
Right.
Not everybody's going to actually get under the knife.
Trina looked womanly, but I did think she was pregnant. I was like, oh,
I thought she was pregnant too.
I think we about
to get a baby.
We about to get the.
I thought that was like the Beyonce one. Like, she was going to be like, hey.
And then when it wasn't, I was like, we don't think she's ready for this job.
It was like, nah.
You don't know there. You don't know there.
Wham. There wasn't no baby in there.
That's all right. It's a food baby.
Speaking of babies, right?
Yeah.
We see Krishan Rock is pregnant, right? And she's doing what Krishan Rock. You know, this is the women's episode, right? So we see her pregnant and seeing what she's doing while she's pregnant, and we see Blueface like just gallivanting the town with his first baby moms.
Ooh, child.
How do you feel like? What do y'all feel about that?
Okay, can I take this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll take this one. So, as a friend who has a best friend who's a Pisces, I believe that Krishan
I'm a Pisces. So.
You're Pisces? I knew it. As a friend who has a best friend who's a Pisces, Krishan is going to be okay. She's right now in her obsessive stage. Pisces are in love with love. But when they fall out of love, you fuck.
It's over.
It's clipped. So we just got to wait for her fall out of love moment. And she's about to get something that she's going to be in love with for forever. So he's going to be clipped. If he knew, in my Patti LaBelle voice, only he knew. If he knew, he would do what was right, okay? Because when she is the commodity right now. He's an Aquarius, though, so he's not going to... I'm as a fellow Aquarius, I already know where this is going. He's not going to realize until shit is just done. It's done. And I think that as a woman, when you have children, right, most of us, some of y'all bitches ain't shit. But when you become, for the most of us, the 99.99 majority of us, when we have a child, our focus shifts.
Yes.
And we want to be better for them. Even if we don't know what better looks like, we just know we can't do what we used to do because this child now becomes our focal point. And I believe that, 1, they're young, and 2, she didn't have anything to live for. And 3, you have to look at her background, right? She's one of those people, what I just talked about, she was raised on survival, not love. And so when you're raised on survival versus love, there's things that you will accept, there's things that you will allow simply because you don't value you.
And you're in
because you weren't
mode.
valued, right? And Blueface was her form of survival. He was
And
her come up.
stability.
Right. So I believe that this baby, we're already seeing it. She's taking a kind of a sabbatical from social media a little bit. She's kind of retreating. He, on the other hand, he might be a lost cause. I'm not going to ever say he's lost because there's redemption for everyone. But he's what we also were talking about in the previous segment where you are raised by an ancient, ignorant-ass mother who allowed you to do... First of all, ladies, red flag, let me flash it for you. Any man who sits and allows you to beat on their mother, they're not good. They're a piece of shit. Run as fast as you can. Be the gingerbread man. Go ahead.
I hate the whole situation. I really wish she would have aborted the baby. Ooh. Absolutely. And the reason I say that is because...
Clutch a pearl.
And I'm going to say that because as women, we got to stop being a part of our own disappointment.
Agreed.
And this is a disappointing situation as an older woman now.
Well, is it? Because babies are beautiful.
Are they, though, when you chose to bring a baby into chaos and not real love? Because now, is this baby going to be built? Is this baby going to be raised in love? Or is this baby going to be raised in chaos and manipulation? Because I believe this was a manipulation situation to where she felt like she needed to have one up on the baby mother who already has 2 babies, right?
And then she showed her.
So not just that, the minute you were pregnant, he was saying you were lying. He was saying he was hoping it wasn't. He was calling you a whore. As women, we have to stop accepting the bullshit. He painted this picture, and as women, we love to rearrange pictures that other people have painted for us. So a man could take you out for a slice of pizza, and in your mind, that was a 6-course dinner date.
We go together.
Baby, it was pizza.
What Carisha said? We go together. Real bad.
Stop rearranging these pictures. He has painted a very clear picture of who he thinks you are, who he thinks you should be to him. Ooh. Baby, first of all, any girl on this earth, any woman, female on this earth with an F. I made that word up. Earth with an F. That is missing one of her front teeth and just walks around smiling, baby, I'm scared of you. You a different type of villain, baby. And then you have the nerve to put the nigga picture.
Not your side tooth.
Not even the side. And I don't like the side tooth, but I ride with it because that seemed like to be the one a lot of people missing. But baby, right here, one of the mains, and you willingly walk around without it, and then the one that you did get the replacement has his face on it. You have this man tatted on you 7 times. This is such a unhealthy obsession. It's disgusting to watch.
I agree.
This is a ticking time bomb.
A train wreck.
And I feel really bad for the child because the child is now a pawn between 2 complete idiots to where she's going to use the baby against him. And
allegedly.
And he's probably not going to give a fuck.
I think he does, though.
I don't think he does. I think he's a classic narcissist. He gaslights the shit out of her. Yeah. She gets on social media and starts crying, and then 2 days later, she's drinking Hennessy. Thank God she stopped with the baby. But talking about, well, nobody will understand what we got. Because why? He is her meal ticket. Not anymore, but in the beginning.
She is actually.
In the beginning, he was the meal ticket, and he was the survival to where, baby girl, now you don't got to worry about where you rest your head at. You don't got to worry about where you're eating and where your next meal is coming from. And you got chains on, and you in the limelight, and you this and you that. But you're in the limelight for the wrong reasons. Yeah. And I really hope that she seeks therapy and has a beautiful glow up till we all can look back and be like, yo, you came a long way.
I think she's going to be all right because what I do see is the people who want to support and help her, right? She has, I feel like Krishan suffers from save-a-hoe syndrome. Like, we want to save her. We want to go get, like, I want to go get my niece. Like, I need her to come stay with me so I can feed her and hug her and brush her hair in the bathtub. So she does have a vital system of people who want to support her. The question will be, will she allow them?
Not just will she allow it, but will she be a part of her own rescue? I'm tired of rescuing hoes that don't want to be a part of their own rescue. I'm not rescuing nobody no more.
What J. Cole said? Don't save her.
She don't want to be saved. I'm not saving nobody that doesn't want it. I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's friendship, family.
My God.
You don't want to be a part of your own rescue. I cannot help you because guess what? Even when we throw the lifeline out to you, if we're stuck in the ocean, you got to either swim or at least hold the fuck on so I could reel you back in. She has to get to that place where she is ready to be a part of her own rescue and she's tired of accepting disappointment in her own life.
Huh?
Baby.
Jasmine, that was
every
a whole
Friday
word on a Tuesday.
At 12 noon.
That was a whole word on a Tuesday. Too many of us are not a part of our own rescue.
You have to be. You have to, because then that's when it becomes sentimental to you. That's when it becomes worthwhile, when you're really vested and you're all in. Yeah. She should be going to pre-parenting. She should be going to parenting classes.
Yep.
She should distance herself from him if I was her, because you have to remember when you're pregnant, your baby feels everything.
Yes, they do.
The mental.
Yeah.
Everything that you feel as a woman, your baby can feel. And only God knows how her mind is probably racing.
Yeah, I wonder why your baby coming out with colic crying, because you spent the last 7 months crying over that no good mother.
Right.
Oh, he'll come home.
If we all knew he wasn't shit, you're not going to tell me you didn't know it. That's number one. Number two,
she know he ain't shit.
Look at the dynamic with his family. I don't believe in bringing children into chaos with families either, because now what kind of relationship is this baby going to have with their grandmother? And they auntie and they uncle who you done stood up and fought damn near everybody.
Well, I think you just said a whole word right there. See, too often than not, the problem is too many young women are making babies and not willing to make families. Right?
Hello.
So when
Men
you
too?
look at men too, right? When you're procreating, right, with this human, they only gonna stay a baby but for so long. They become a whole human way quicker than what you know. And it is so important and vital and essential that you look at the family dynamics that you are bringing this child into before you decide that you are going to conceive. I'm not talking about when it's in your belly. Before you let him put it in your belly.
Yes, let's talk about your family generational curses.
Yes.
Are addicts a thing in your family?
Ooh.
Is incarceration a thing in your family?
Is mental health in your family?
Yes.
Is there bipolarism, schizophrenia, emotional distress?
All
What's
of that.
Well, they say, what's in your wallet? What's in your jeans?
Yes, and not the ones that you wear on your ass.
Are those Bugle Boy jeans?
All right. So
Hell, nah, you know they polo.
So
You don't know, Nan.
speaking of these toxic situations, right?
Yes, toxicity.
We see Cardi B and her husband
Woo.
going through something.
If
Allegedly,
I'm gonna get my lick back, was a motherfucking person.
She a
okay?
Libra, so she's definitely getting her lick
Yes,
back.
because they are vindictive.
I got two.
And they
of them.
bide their time.
I had two of them. So allegedly there was Tasha K posted a video of a mistress of Offset in their home allegedly and in their studio allegedly.
Offset.
Right.
What is wrong with this Tasha chick, bro?
Tasha is like,
You've already been sued.
you owe her $4 million. Why are you still in her face?
Nah,
Go ahead.
She like, fucking, I'm just gonna go all the way. I ain't gonna
She's
never-
trying to get that $4 million up.
Well, she filed
Exactly.
for bankruptcy, so she'll probably never have to pay the
she's
$4
paying
million.
that. No, the judge already put a clause on it where bankruptcy cannot, she can't file, so that doesn't even work. Go ahead. So what's your question, Sha?
So now they saying like Offset posted, my wife cheated on me basically, right? And then she goes to say, I'm Cardi B, like I can't cheat on you without nobody saying anything. And why would he post that? And why would she say what she said in general?
So one,
Did you guys hear it? Like,
yeah, I did.
I heard
she said, don't. I love what she said. Don't listen to that country man, y'all. That was cute. I was like, yeah, Cardi. First off, let's get to it. This will always kill me with men, right? This will kill me with men. Y'all will cheat 11 times like some Reeboks. But the one time you even suspect or think that your woman did to you what you did to her, if you think you lonely now, and my Bobby voice, and my Bobby voice, now you in your feelings, you making posts and deletes. My man, I feel like at this point, if she fucked 30 niggas, you gotta kind of eat that with a spoon. It's either eat it or leave it. That's it and that's all. You had my good sis out here looking stupid. Looking crazy. She got open cases, stuck tomorrow, taking on your other 3 kids, making you a better father, putting you in a position where she has created a home life and a family, and you got the audacity, the unmitigated gall to now, if you even did, it's not even founded. You're going to post some DMs from last birthday. Okay, you didn't even make it to this Libra season. From last birthday, where someone is in her DMs talking about what he coulda, shoulda, woulda with your wife. That is Cardi B. You are sleeping next to at the very least, the epitome of rap queendom right now. Okay? You looking, I'm gonna chalk this up to you are still grieving over Offset, okay? City Boys are down 1,000 points for this stunt. But I'm not going to hold it against you because you're grieving. But in the near future, when you want to do a post and delete, do what most of us do in those situations. Type it out, send it to your friend, and then delete it. Don't post it though, because you're looking crazy. You're looking like you looking like, I don't know. I'm not here for it. And in Cardi's defense, I think Cardi said a perfect thing. She didn't really shed light on it. She gave a scenario. If I'm not saying I did, but if I was to get my lick back, I love what she said. I'm fucking Cardi B. In other words, I'm that bitch. I can't just go and hump on that. Y'all gonna know about it. Cause she's right. The average person is not hiding that they is humping Cardi B. The average industry guy is not hiding that he's humping Cardi B. So therefore, she doesn't have the liberty to just go and cheat with the Instagram model thoughts that you have done, Offset. That's not her bop. But what I like what she said is, if I do divorce my husband, I'm going to fall into a richer situation. So in other words, what she did was she sent him a warning shot.
Hello.
She said, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Don't play with me.
Please don't play with me. Because if I do leave you, I'm not going to be the one sitting up in my room like Brandy crying. You will.
Hello.
Goodbye.
All I'm going to say is dudes get cheated on every day, B. Listen, go in the bathroom and cry like I did. And then run the shower so we can't hear you because you're disturbing us. We watching TV. And
not TV.
You'll be all right in the morning because guess what? You embarrass us completely. And it kills me because y'all know the space I captivate are nothing but men. And when I see them, because I'm always the sister, I know who's cheating on their wives. I know the sneaky links. I see it day in and day out. And I always tell them, and I be like, you really think that your wife don't have the opportunity to step out? Because, honey, penis is the easiest thing to get in the world.
Girl,
I ain't even got to comb my hair and go outside and have 10 suitors. One might be homeless.
And mommy, you look so good, baby.
Right.
You look so good.
Right.
I love to.
He might be Spanish, black, Puerto Rican, or Haitian with it, as
I like to drink your water.
So let's not act like women can't pull them the same way y'all think y'all can. And guess what? We ain't even got to spend no money on homie. Ooh. You got to take sis to dinner. You paying for the telly. You doing this. You doing that. The nerve.
The nerve.
So guess what? If Cardi B got her lick back, I'm not mad at her at all. At all. And sis, give him your best.
Don't do that to. Don't do that.
Make him cry.
Don't do that. What? Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
Don't do that to who?
I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
Oh.
All right.
And, I don't
feel bad.
And let me be very clear here. I don't desire for them to break up.
No.
I love the dynamics of Cardi and Offset. You see that she has his back and his front. You see that I feel like he's made her better. I feel like together they are raising this family. You see him all of a sudden. He's credited Cardi with the glow up. It just saddens me that a lot of times we got to build a man. You know, like we got to build bears and build niggas.
All right, now. She didn't build that man, okay?
She did build him.
How she built him?
How she built him?
Explain.
Okay, what I mean by that is Offset has stated how he really wasn't in the lives of his children outside of Cardi, right? She has created a home life. A lot of times there are a lot of women who come in, you know, that evil, ugly stepmother syndrome is real. She has created a home life to where he has now been able to not only just be in his children's lives, he's able to be the type of father that we all want, right? She's also built his image as far as making him, I dare say they have made marriage look good. Like Jazie, like listen. Don't fix your face.
Since day one of the marriage has been cheating rumors, and they got
Beyonce made lemonade for getting cheated on. Shit, what man and woman you know is in holy matrimony who ain't experienced a little cheating? The point I'm making is though, for this age era group, they have made kind of a marriage couple goals where, you know what, like what Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith said, we've decided bad marriage for life. Whatever it is that they do with their marriage, they still ride for each other. They still show up for each other. They still tonguing each other down on the carpet.
Okay, I can understand
that's what a lot of people are experiencing. It's just not on a worldwide stage. So in that circumstance, she has provided something for him with his glow up that was outside of the Migos. Before he was just one of the Migos, he became the most prominent member, and it wasn't because of his rapping. It was because of his coupledom.
It was because of his rapping in the beginning. She came, and then when she came around, he kind of slowed down.
He kind of slowed down with what?
His artistry. He didn't even come out with a project or none of that stuff. Once you got the baddest joint at that time, I don't really need y'all.
I don't know, because Jay-Z ain't slowed down once since he got with Beyonce.
Well, he kind of has though.
That's because he's older.
But Jay-Z was big.
He didn't. He slowed down rapping to where I think he puts more thought. Let me not say more thought, because I think you've always been thoughtful, but I think he's more strategic.
Out to Jay-Z. I love you, Jay-Z.
With it, but I also see that he slowed down with the rapping and became more of a businessman.
Well, no,
and his mindset has changed.
And beyond that too, Jay-Z is also in a different paradigm where he raps because that's what he wants to do.
Right, doesn't have to.
Right. And not be, Offset has to rap.
I just want Offset to stop recreating these Michael Jackson outfits. It really, really bothers me. It looks like Halloween and my mother got her hot glue gun out and was like, ooh, baby, we're going to go down the street and trick or treat. I absolutely hate it.
I love it.
I think Michael Jackson is so legendary and iconic. Let him be with his outfits. Make your own staple. I absolutely hate it.
I love how he came
I hate
with
when
that
people
little...
try to remake shit from iconic celebrities.
First of
I hate
all,
it. Let them be.
I will rock the shit out of a Toy Soldier costume jacket. I love that the Toy Soldier Army jacket look.
All right.
I have one.
So we're gonna talk about one more rap, right?
Okay.
And this is the last rap. All right. And we're wrapping it up for the night. Thank you guys for coming and tuning in.
Oh, wait. Before we wrap it up, we have to shout out, and we would be remiss if we didn't. Cola Ray and her outfit.
That was fire.
It was fire that she paid homage because we don't see that enough. And I think, as you were saying earlier, not just relationships are we getting better, but I think as far as sisterhood, we're getting better. And I'm glad to see a lot of these young rappers coming up, giving each other their space to shine collectively and with each other. I think it's dope.
Yeah.
And her outfit just spoke volumes. Like she even had, what's her name? Scarlett on there. She ain't even, I mean, she popped, but not fully yet.
I like Coyle Ray, period. Coyle Ray, to me, her glow, I'm excited for where we see Sis go because she was the underdog, and a lot of people counted her out. Yeah. They talked about what she couldn't do, what she shouldn't do, and Sis just kept showing up repeatedly. So I like Coyle Ray, but I do agree with that. I was just talking about that with my son in the car today, listening. He had on All I Really Want, yeah, and with YB. And I love how all of these younger rappers are now sampling these 90s artists and giving them their flowers to You Don't Know.
I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, so I
especially
think that's
from where we saw Nicki and Kim and where we saw Foxy and Kim at one point, and we saw all of these issues with women rappers. I love.
Shout out to female rap. Period.
Hello.
Female rap is literally what is carrying the rap chart. Say what you want. They are.
Cue Queen Latifah, UNITY. It's the unity because I'm here for it.
My all-time wish. I had a rap, and it started with, I used to want to be on stage with one of the singers, and now I'm on the stage with every single one. And I want to see a rap album with all female.
I would love to see a 2023 ladies' night.
Woo! Who would be a lineup?
Oh, everybody.
No, you can only have 4.
Five.
Get 5. Spit it.
I couldn't because I would want the old school and the new school.
You have to. No, I didn't ask you that, Jazz. Just Jazz. Just Jazz, you need just 5.
Okay, it would have to be Scarlett. She goes hard.
Scarlett, okay.
I love Lola.
Shout out to Scarlett.
What's her name? Lola Brooke.
Okay.
Cola Ray. Cardi.
Oh.
Glorilla.
That's it. That's your 5. That's your 5.
Wait. But in the video, I need cameos.
Everybody can be in the video.
I need cameos from everybody that paved the way.
Top 5 ladies' night. Top 5. It would be Lotto. Lotto. Koi.
Okay.
Lotto, Koi. I want the City Girls. Do they count as 2 or they 1?
I think give them 1.
Okay, City Girls. I get the City Girls. Woo! Up 10,000 points. I'll put Lola on there. No. I only get 2. Wait, because the City Girls is 1, so I get 2.
You got 2 more.
I got 2 more. Cardi, Nicki. Drop one of Clue's bombs for that.
I like that lineup. What about Cash Doll? I like
Cash Doll is so underrated. I shout
love
out
her.
to the D. I love Cash Doll lives rent free in my head.
Yeah.
These niggas for everybody.
She's bodying
she's
her,
so beautiful.
her role on BMF, bro.
She's dead now. Monique did.
Yeah, but she bodied that role.
She was so beautiful to me. Like,
Yeah.
I love Cash Doll. I feel like I like light skin Keisha. Like there's just so many to choose from. And
that's what I said. Everybody got to be on.
It makes my heart
It got to be like an
smile.
Erykah Badu cypher.
Yes.
It got to be like that. But the video got to be everybody.
And I want, if I had the video, I would have Nicki. I would have Kim in the middle, Nicki on her right, and Cardi on her left. Ooh.
Yes.
Y'all gonna forget about Foxy Brown?
She can't hear us.
Oh, that's crazy. All right. That'll be tonight's show. Thanks for everybody for tuning in.
I love you, Fox.
With Conversations on Film. And we have J&J, Jada G, and Jasmine C. All right. And we got, tell them your social media.
Oh.
I am at Highly Sedity LLC. That's HIGHLYSIDDITY LLC on IG. Follow me. I am the Cannabis Hemp Girl. I've been in this space for quite a few years, and I love what I do. So follow me.
I am on IG at Jada G Show because this is all about the show. And you can follow me as also on Facebook on the Jada G Show. I do hosting, so if you need me to host your TV show, oh God. Let me host your TV show. You need me to host your bar mitzvah, your divorce party, weddings. I do them. And
gender reveals, daddy reveals.
Ooh, child, you are not the father reveal. Whatever it is that you need to host, I shall host it. And I'm just happy to be here on Conversations FM. Yes.
This was a
Make
good
sure
one.
you check us out.
Always.
That was a good one.
You can follow
And
me.
ladies, love on your sisters. Hello.
Y'all can follow me, Shatek the producer. You can follow Conversations on Film on Instagram. You can look us up on YouTube and everything. All right? And we out.
We out.
Whoa, Shatek.